Alrighty guys, as we keep bringing into another Dragon Ball Legends ToP guide video. This is going to be in regards for season 56. Last season we ended at rank 6,627, which is actually amazing, right? Considering that we ran regeneration with 3 C-tier characters. Hopefully that makes you feel a bit more comfortable for running C-tier characters in the future, or just lower tier characters in general. That being said, before we get into the video, I did put out a tweet saying that next Wednesday I will be releasing a guide to the game mode of ToP where I explain how it works, not just usually what we have here where it's like use this team, use this path, best teams, tips and tricks in general, right? I want to make it mostly geared towards beginners so that they may not always need these seasonal guide videos. Let me know what you would like to see in this video in the comments down below, or let me know over on Twitter. And remember, there will always be timestamps in the description of the video so that you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is our pathing right here. This is what it's going to vaguely look like. Again, the circled fights are going to be the most important fights. If you can get to those circled fights, you're going to be okay. The blue pathing right here is usually, it's not set in stone, right? Sometimes that is subject to change. Sometimes we'll be like, okay, you know what, we're a little bit weak right here, we're gonna go for an easier stage, something of that nature right here, right? But in general, this is what we're going for. And the reason why we have those fights circled specifically is because, if you guys do not know, ToP does reward you based on your win streak, right? Specifically on your 5th win streak, your 10th, 15th, 20th, 25th, in that order. 25th obviously granting you the most points, right? So you want to make sure you keep that win streak intact. You want to make sure that you're not using a yellow tile, you're not using a green tile, unless I would say you only use the green tiles if you're using a purely like points based team. Like if you're using all Z tier characters, then you will be fine. But for the most part, I don't use any of the green tiles and the yellow tile. I think yellow tiles are inexcusable. Don't ever land on a yellow tile. So now let's go ahead and talk about tips and tricks. Build your friendship rank for your units. Right, the easiest way to build your friendship rank is through the upgrade tab in the event section. Let's fight. You get 3 stages daily that will give you friendship rank to 1 unit. You can only bring 1 unit into these fights. Make sure you guys are doing these. And also, if we head into the recommended tab, we have the unbelievable final bout, the new story mode stage. There is a stage at the end right here where it's 1 a day against Hercule. This gives you so much friendship rank. You bring in 3 units to this, so you're building friendship rank for 3 units. Please take advantage of this as well. And this is definitely the last resort. If you desperately are trying to build up your friendship rank, you can always go into story mode, part 6, book 1, chapter 8. This stage right here is the best stage to farm it up, right? And you can do this, there's no limit to how much you can do this right here, but it is the most tedious thing ever. I really don't recommend doing this unless you just have absolutely nothing to do. You're going to go ahead and farm this while doing something else, right? Maybe watching videos or something like that. This, I've done this grind personally, and I will never do it again. Alright, so now let's go ahead and move on to our actual pathing right here. We have this girl stage. So you want to kill the tag droids before allowing them to swap element factors, and then you also want to kill Mai before end of turn 2 since she will stun you. Watch out for Urine as well since she can do a ton of damage to your blues. Next we have the Zamasu stage. Yellow Goku Black and the blue Goku Black both provide support for the team, so usually you do see me target them first. And then I will save the corrupted Zamasu for last since he applies heavy debuffs upon death. However, some of you guys have said that you've been hit by his super before getting to him at the last slot, so if this is the case for you, then attack him early on. Of course, if you are running Kid Buu on your regeneration team, which I do recommend by the way, kill him first so that Kid Buu can run free. Next we have this double Broly stage. I personally like to go for Ultra Broly and then Sparking Broly to avoid their stuns, since Ultra Broly will stun at the start of turn 2 and Sparking Broly stuns at the end of turn 2. I've seen that some of you guys prefer to eat the stun from Ultra Broly, and if that works better for you, then that's fine. I can see the pros of that, so that you may save him from the last and hit him with the Rising Rush. But at the minimum, you want to avoid at least 1 stun here, right? And that would be from the Sparking Broly. Next, we have Sagas with Bojack. Just kill Bojack before end of turn 2, and you'll avoid his super attack. Mono Red. Kill the androids before they tag out, just like we said before, and then kill Super 13, since he will super you on turn 3. So next we have Mono Red with Ultra Broly. Here, I think you just eat the stun, right, from Ultra Broly. He's just too tanky at this point. Kill the tag droids before they swap out, and then Green Mai before end of turn 2, since she will stun you. Remember that Super 13 will super you at the start of turn 3. So if you feel more comfortable killing the tag droids and then Super 13 and just eating the stuns, then you can do that. That is an option. Next we have Super Warriors. Tien will stun you on turn 2, kill him first, and then save Baseball Yamcha for last. Next we have this kid stage. You want to target the kid Gohan first and then Transformer Goten. They both can get guaranteed supers, do not let them. Also, the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku will stun you. There's nothing you can do about that, you just have to eat it. Next we have God Key. Thankfully this is only a 3/5 stage, but the Beerus and Whis will both stun you on turn 2. If you can get both of them on turn 1 before that happens, then you are golden. If not, then take out Whis first, since he buffs and heals God Key allies on turn 3. Next, we have another variation of Sagas from the movies with Ultra Broly. Again, you have to eat the stun here, since you really have no choice, as that blue Gohan will absorb all damage on turn 1. In that case, save Ultra Broly for last, since you can use the rush against him there, since he probably will be the tankiest unit. Or for the last boss fight, same strategy, eat the Broly stun and save him for last. Your main priority here is killing the Kid Gohan first. I don't care if you get stunned, I don't care if I get stunned. Let me know in the comments down below if there's any fights that I might have missed that you guys think are important to cover, or if there's any different ways that you would handle these fights. So now moving on to our best teams, androids are easily the best team this season, I think. You can run something like this right here on the right hand side if you want to optimize your points, or you can play it safe and include the new units such as the LF Gammas. All of the superhero, all the new units that we just got right now are in A tier, by the way. Magenta is also really good here. We'll go into more details on them in the new character segment, but essentially he is a healer. You can see all his healing slots right here and all the corners of the map. If you want an androids run, I highly recommend subbing to Andy8 Gaming, who will be linked in the description down below, since he does provide Z tier Android walkthroughs. Another huge thing about this is that this guy being in Z tier right here, this Android 13, the free to play one, he's not necessarily the most broken unit or anything like that, but he does have debuffs that he can inflict upon the enemy team, which is very nice, right? And then this guy, keep in mind, his Zenkai got announced, so you can wait until his Zenkai comes out. I don't know if we're gonna have enough time in the season for his Zenkai to drop, but I'm pretty sure we will, right? So he's going to be a valuable unit since he is Z tier as well. So you can kind of just let this team just marinate a little bit. What I'm running specifically though is that Android 13, he does get a guaranteed super attack, the red one down there, and then this guy, he's also a healer as well. So essentially you're running 2 healers here, which is pretty nice, I would say. So next we have GT, again, right hand side, optimizing their team for points. Personally, I slap on Super Baby 2 whenever I get the chance, as he is the best healer for GT/regeneration. EX Baby Vegeta debuffs the entire enemy team, which is huge, and then this EX Sin Shinron buffs your entire team, so this is a really strong combination. Again, do not be afraid to run lower tier units. I have seen this team so many times on the leaderboard with the Tag 4s who are in C tier. Right, so you can definitely do that here as well. Obviously, since I'm running 3 blues, you're going to want to have a good amount of purples here, and I do have the yellow Nova Shinron since he is in he's in S tier, I believe. Hold on, he is in S tier, so that's huge. And then also the Zenkai Kid Goku, he resides in S tier as well. He's going to be getting super attacks very often. This guy's going to be Zenkai buffing your purple units, so your purple GT units, so that's really good as well. I think this is a very easy team to run. Notably here though, on the right hand side, this guy's running the yellow Rildo, and I think he flies under a lot of people's radars, but he has an interesting ability where before receiving a special move arts, this is not health restricted by the way, you will perform a cover change and negate 40% of that damage, right? So he will save you if your ally to the left or to the right of you gets hit by a super attack. It's very niche, but it works well if you're protecting. If you're going against a stage where you know you're going to get super attacked, you can protect a unit. Alright, next we have Sagas from the movies. Standout characters here, on the right hand side at least, are definitely the Red Turles, right? Because he applies amazing debuffs and he heals himself. Then you free to play 13 is here as well. We just talked about them, who has decent debuffs as well as being Z tier. I like Bujin here a lot too, because he does contain a stun within his kit. He stuns at the start of turn 2. I like this EX Cooler a lot too. I know a lot of you guys might not have him at a good amount of stars. Just recently I only had him at 3 stars, but he does get 50% to his special move gauge after receiving an attack from a Tag Saiyan. As you guys do know, that's the most populated tag in the game, so there's like a high chance that you might be getting hit by a Saiyan. Again, Magenta works amazingly here. You can see I have the same combination set up as for androids. He's going to be healing all of those corner tiles, and then this Gamma 2 is going to be healing the Magenta, the Cooler, and the Turles, right? You can see from the highlighted tiles, having 2 healers is going to ensure your survival throughout the ToP season. You also have amazing options to choose from in C tier, such as Beast Gohan, or even the Tag Goku and Vegeta, the Blue Boys, right? And not only that, if you don't want to use those units, you just go into A tier, guys. Listen, you just go into A tiers. All the new units that just released last night from the superhero movie are all in A tier. Revival Piccolo, Red Gohan. Again, we'll talk about them in the new units segments. But if I had the Gotmas, right, Gamma 1 and 2 tag unit, I would place them right here instead of Beast Gohan. The next thing we're going to be talking about is Saiyans with Zaha. This is essentially coming to its own right as a meta team. There are usually 2 healers on this team. In the form of Zaha, you can see right here, he buffs the row above him. Well, it's only 3 slots, right? Not the entire row. You can see he does get cut off right here since he's in that little corner. But it's usually him and the EX from Goku who's going to be buffing to the left and to the right of him, as well as himself. This EX baby Vegeta, we've already talked about him. We use him, right? We usually use him. He inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrades, which is huge. This Nappa also inflicts enemy with attribute downgrades, which is huge, awesome again. And while they're doing all that stuff, the Zenkai Kid Goku and the Zenkai Super Vegeta will super attack every other fight. This is an extremely cohesive team that yields really good results. Plus, there are so many replacement options within the Saiyan tags that you guys can just have. As you can see right here on backup, I do have Turles. He does buff the Saiyan tag, right? And he's just amazing all around. Since he does have healing within his kit, he has debuffs within his kit, and then you do see me have Go Frieza on here, who is in C tier. You can pick up any unit that you want from C tier, right? You guys have seen me use 3 C tier units. You guys can use 3 C tier units and still secure that 1000 CC easily. Alright, so last but not least, we have regeneration, and we were actually eating so good this season. If we hop on over to B tier, we have both Super Baby 2 and Fat Boo in here. They have been promoted. They are must runs. These guys are non-replaceable for our run. And then if we hop on over to S tier, we have Slug. We're going to be using Slug. If you don't have Slug, use Zenkai EXL or Zenkai Evil Boo, both of which are also in S tier. Another unit that we have replaced is our first form Cell with the Revival Piccolo. I just want to test him out. I just want to see how good he is. We're going to go into how good he is in the new character segment. But if you don't have him, then continue to use this first form Cell. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have a feeling that for our team specifically, this guy is still going to be better. Also, if you don't have the Red 21, who is our only C tier unit of the season, then I heavily recommend using the Red Gohan, since he has been bumped up to A tier. We only have him at 3 stars, but I had been working on his friendship because eventually we are going to be trying him out. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys need any replacements for this team, because this is more than likely what we will be running. Also, for those of you that do have Ultra Kid Buu, he is a must run, I think. If you have Ultra Kid Buu, I think you do use him. He is in C tier. I don't care. I think you take out the Kamikolo or the Slug. Personally, I would take out the Kamikolo just because Slug is in S tier, right? And that way you can go ahead and mitigate the fact that you're going to be losing points by bringing in another C tier unit. So now moving on to new units. We're going to be talking about the Gammas 1 and 2. We did not pull them. I know. That's why you do see them grayed out right here. TLP stats. 2,351 the key restore speed. It's average, right? Not the best, not the worst. He has a blue card. Let's go ahead and see their abilities. So 90% to own damage, minus 20% to damage received, 20% to key recovery. Key recovery is going to be amazing, right? You have that percentage boost on that. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 10% to damage. That's already great. And then another inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 10% to health restoration. So they're going to be annoying to fight against as well, right? At the end of first turn, performs a tag switch, 15% to damage inflicted, 10% to special move damage inflicted, and 10% to special move gauge. This is... Are they going to be blue card farmers? At the end of the second turn, perform another tag switch, another 15% to damage inflicted, 10% to special move damage inflicted, and 10% to special move gauge. So that's 20% right there. At the end of the third turn, own health is 50% or below, which probably not going to be happen. Realistically, you don't want that to happen, so this is kind of not the best. This character will perform another tag switch, restore own health, and another 20% to own special move gauge. So I think this is his biggest downfall of that first ability, is that it's health restricted to 50% or below. Usually you're keeping your units at a high standing in terms of health. So next ability, he has a cover change, but it's health restricted for blast. I don't like the health restriction at all. Start of the first turn, activate special action, inflicts attribute downgrade and more attribute downgrades to damage received and health restoration, and minus 10% to key recovery. It can't be to all enemies, right? It's just to one enemy. That's ridiculous. At the start of the second turn, you activate special action, self restores health by 3% and minus 5% to damage. He's really good. He's not broken. He's not as broken as some of the other units that we've seen, like the Ultras or even like Beast Gohan or stuff like that, but he's really good. So next we're going to be talking about Orange Piccolo. So this guy, he has a lot to live up to if he's going to be replacing our first form cell. Key restore speed's pretty good, 2,554 at friendship rank 1, easily can jump up. He does have a regular blue card here, so he's a revival unit, so I expect we're going to see stuff like that in here. 80% to damage inflicted, minus 10% to damage received, and 15% to key recovery. Huge. Already great start. When own health reaches 0, transform with 100% health. That in its own right is really good. Plus 20% to damage inflicted, minus 15% to damage received, and 25% to special move gauge charge rate. I would have loved to have seen just to special move gauge instead of charge rate. Seeing charge rate is like that little asterisk that's like kind of makes it very more right? You apply the buff effect, restores 10% of damage, so he heals himself a little bit. Once revived, the revive status will remain even after the battle ends. Typical, right? Happens with the other revival units as well. If his own health reaches 0 due to enemy self-destruct, he will not revive. Okay, good to know. Has a cover change. He has a wide range too that he covers, right? In all 4 corners that you can see right here. Oops. But it is health restricted, right? The health gate. On Strike Arts attack, he gets 15% to damage inflicted and 5% to special move damage inflicted. Before receiving a Strike Arts, when transformed, he nullifies the strike. That's okay, I like that. Having damage mitigation right there, like it makes me want to have him die early on. I don't know, I just want the Orange Piccolo then at that point. After receiving a special action, or after activating it, you get 10% to own damage inflicted, 20% to next strike damage, and a special move arts damage inflicted. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, plus 15% to damage received, and minus 5% to key rate. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I expected a little bit more. He's alright, I guess. He's alright. So next we have Magenta, and I can tell you guys right now, I've already briefly looked over at his kit, and he is great. Key restore speed 2,489, pretty good, right? Decent. He has the blue card, first ability, 70% to own damage inflicted, 25% to damage, minus 25% to damage received. You inflict all enemies with attribute downgrade, plus 20% to damage received for 1 turn. That is huge. And minus 30 to the key recovery. If it was like a percentage to the key recovery, it would have been GG's, would have been over. Start of the turn, 3 enemies or less remaining activates a special action, right? On special action, 30% to damage inflicted for 1 turn, plus 80 to key recovery for 1 turn, and this is why he's so good. 100% to a special move gauge. Theoretically, he could be super attacking every single fight. That is amazing. So, second ability, that alone right there, he could just have this, and he's the best so far, I think. So before receiving a Strike Arts, health restricted, we don't care about that. After receiving an attack, allies in range, restores health by 1%. He does have a good range right here too in all 4 corners. We've talked about that a little bit. 10% to damage inflicted, activates 3 times, right? Cancels attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions, activates twice. If he's defeated, we don't care about that either. He's not going to get defeated. But if he does get defeated, he restores health by 10% and 20% to damage inflicted. So if we do come across him, we'll know to target him last. And lastly, we have the Nerdhan, or whatever you guys are calling him, the Glasses Gohan, the new one. We'll display his maximum stats as well. ToP stats, 2,328, a little bit more on the lower side. He does have the blue card right here. 70% to damage inflicted, 20% to damage inflicted for 2 turns, minus 15% to damage received, 60 to key recovery. It's alright, I guess. According to battle turn, first turn, 20% to damage, 30 plus 30 key, recovery for 1 turn. Oh, not even just 30. So according to battle turn self, First turn, 20% to damage and 30 to ki recovery. Second turn, 20% to damage and 30 to ki recovery for 1 turn. And third turn, restores health by 2%. That's not bad. On strike arts or blast arts hit self, you get 15% to special move damage inflicted for 2 turns and 10% to special move gauge. Wow, it doesn't say like activates 1 time or anything like that, so he's getting 40% a fight. That's huge. That is huge because you get 3% per turn too, right? So he's basically getting 50% a fight. He's going to be super attacking every other fight. He is amazing. At the end of turn, multi-target 10% to damage inflicted by allied tag. Sagas from the movies, Sun Family, for 2 turns, inflicts an enemy attribute enemy with attribute downgrade plus 10% damage received. This is his range right here. It's going to be to the left, to the right, and to his diagonals to the left and to the right. I think he's damn. I think so in terms, if I had to rank them, I would say I like Magenta the most, and then Gamma 1 and 2. The Glasses Gohan, and then the Orange Piccolo. Let me know if that resonates with you guys as well in the comments down below. Alright, so that being said, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the season of ToP or ToP in general, let me know. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys do leave a like or even consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps out the channel so much. And I always appreciate your guys' view, your guys' time. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!